Jimmy, I really don't feel like doing a podcast today.
You know what? We don't tolerate that attitude here. If you don't smarten up, we could have you shipped off to Hydra Island. You could be shoveling polar bear feces. How would you like that?
Gross.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 2 of Polar Bear Feces, the Lost Vodcast. I'm Jimmy Jones.
And I'm Jordan Jucker.
And today's podcast is brought to you by the letter J. Now, we'd like to start out looking at the fans' reaction to this episode. Apparently, people are calling it an atrocity, one of the worst episodes of all time, a disgrace to television. What do you think about that, Jordan?
Well, I say shame, shame. I don't really think the episode was as bad as people are making it out to be. I mean, it's still Lost.
I agree completely, as do these polar bears, our special guest stars. But I'd like to take a look at the title. I didn't get it. That was my main problem with this episode. What exactly did Kate do? Did she do anything? I don't know, maybe something in the deleted scenes, like, what might she have done? Could she have taken a poop?
Maybe. Or gotten braces.
Or stuck a fork in an outlet? Cried over Sawyer and Jack? Just like everything else unoriginal in this episode? The next mystery. Why was Saeed wearing a friggin' golden headband?
I have no idea. Maybe they're trying to make him look like a ninja or king or something like that.
King of the Egyptians?
Seemed like more of a sweatband, like because they knew he was gonna sweat from all the things they were doing to him, so they stuck a sweatband on his head.
It's kind of convenient, they're looking out for the guy, respecting the Arabs. I think this show has some good morals on it. I don't know about you. Looking at that strange flash sideways with the fat Claire and all that. Did you see when they did the ultrasound? There was a monster in Claire's belly. Why? I swear I saw it. I saw smoke crawling around her belly.
Smoke.
Do you think we know what the monster is now? Like maybe it eats babies? You think the monster is maybe Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson eats babies?
As far as I know of, we can't really ask him anymore. Either that or Claire's going to give birth to the monster instead of Aaron. Wait, do you think the monster is Aaron? That's such a great theory, online people. That's just so great. So inspired. We saw Sawyer throw a ring into the water. What do you think's going to happen to that ring?
We know the island's very old.
Like Richard.
Yeah, and not many people go there, so I'm thinking it'll probably stay at the bottom for, maybe 2,000 years or so. And be picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable. Maybe a hobbit, or
Bilbo Baggins?
or Smeagol.
Everything happens for a reason in this show. You gotta look at the falling rings in water.
The big picture.
Don't look at Jacob and the monster, you gotta look at the details. We saw Dogan spinning around a baseball on the table. Do you think maybe he wanted to start a baseball team and then Jack just interrupted him?
Maybe. I'd guess Miles might be a pretty good baseball player. Maybe he was trying to sneak him onto his team or something like that.
Right. Miles could communicate to the dead players lying underneath the field and find out all their secrets. And imagine Hurley as a bag catcher. Like, who's going to get past him?
Oh.
Dude. What if they played against the Red Sox? Jack's dad would all of a sudden come back for an episode and talk about how they would never win the series, and Jack would start crying. Be one of my favorite episodes. I don't know.
Maybe Dogan was playing with the Red Sox when Ben wheeled in that little TV and showed him the game.
Right. Because on Lost, the baseball teams would be ethnically diverse. That's what the show is really all about. Miles suggested that Hurley would be the new leader. All the people around me were laughing when they said that. And I thought, I think he will be the new leader. What do you think Hurley would do as a leader?
He'd order everybody to bring him food, probably.
Set up a Twinkie stand, and what do you think Jack would think about that? Might argue a bit. Speaking of Jack, that little pill he gave Saeed, I think the reason Jack swallowed it himself was not to test it out. It was because he wanted to become a stoner again and grow a big beard.
After he doesn't have any more of those, how's he gonna get dope to make some more of that green crap?
Right, what an idiot. I mean, this island doesn't grow endless pills. All it grows is useless healing powers. Jack's got to think his drug logistics through. Here's where we need our special guest stars. You know that trap that Jin stepped in?
Yep.
That trap, it seemed to be a bear trap, like in Fox and the Hound. Like, I'm thinking it was set there for a polar bear. Now, if Claire catches a polar bear, it's going to have a flashback episode because we don't know the whole backstory of the polar bears, do we?
Exactly.
Maybe they imported them from Canada.
Oh, maybe. How long did it take those polar bears to break out again? Like
3 hours.
Oh. It had to be a Canadian polar bear.
Oh yeah. I think this show is really promoting Canada in a lot of ways. Even though all the bad guys are from Canada, like it's still a good place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think about what happened to Saeed. Everyone's just like, he's alright. Do you think he's alright?
I'd have to agree with new leader Hurley that he might be a zombie.
I think it'd be pretty interesting if everyone on this show was zombies. That could be the storyline for season 7 and stuff like that.
And stuff like that.
And maybe he was an alien. This show could be think if Saeed's an alien, this could be as good as Indiana Jones 4.
That would be good.
Imagine the show ending with a flying saucer coming up out of the temple. That's definitely my favorite movie of all time. We see Sawyer is in the barracks.
We saw him digging up his floor in his house and picking up this little box.
I think he was looking for his shoes in there, and I don't think he's upset about Juliet's death at all. Like, all he wanted was a pair of shoes, and instead he found this little black piece of crap in a ring, and he was so pissed off he just threw it in the water. Like, I think we're gonna have a flashback about Sawyer and when he got his first pair of shoes. What kind do you think they were?
I'd say Nike, but he's not really a sports guy. So they're probably like little kids' cowboy boots or something like that.
He'd have some badass shoes.
Oh yeah, something sweet when he was a dude.
Maybe with little flashing guns on the side every time you step. That just about brings us to our conclusion. We're going to look into next week's episode, which is called
The Substitute.
These stupid, awful gay theories out there. One of them is Saeed, the person in his body, is a substitute. The second one is they're talking about the guy who's in John Locke's body. Obviously, this episode is going to be a Dr. Arndt-centric. When he blew up, we didn't really see where he went. All we see is things flying around. We didn't actually see him explode. He just hid behind this big flash. Now he's going to come back and he's going to have his own story in the alternate universe.
Substitute teaching, probably.
He's probably going to be teaching the class about bugs and about dynamite, maybe.
And spiders and...
And all of a sudden he's going to blow up and Hurley's going to walk in and go, dude, you children all have Arnst on you. It'd be a wonderful episode. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. But remember, Jacob made you special.
And he loves you very much.
Bye.